thank you so much for accepting to have this interview, sit down interview with us. We are very conscious that you're a very busy person, given your role in society and what you're doing. Your track record speaks very well for you. So we are really grateful that you could spare time out of a busy schedule to sit with us and discuss this in this interview.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, so just go straight to the point. Could you provide more details about, first of all, before I go on to talk more about that, can you tell us about who Dr. Wallace, Dr. Catriona Wallace is?
Yes, I can. Thank you. So there's several streams to what I do. So one is that I'm an entrepreneur, and I was one of the earliest global entrepreneurs into the field of artificial intelligence. But beyond that, I have also co-founded a market research firm, a customer experience design firm. I now lead an organisation called the Responsible Metaverse Alliance, which is working with policymakers and law enforcement across the world to try and create a responsible metaverse. But the company that is most dear to my heart was the AI company that I built. Originally founded that in 2013, ran that out of New York and sold that in 2020. So that's the entrepreneurial side of me. I'm also in investment. So I chair a venture capital fund that is focused on investing in young AI companies. So that keeps me abreast of things. I'm adjunct professor at the Australian Graduate School of Management at UNSW, where I did my PhD. My PhD was the role of technology replacing human leaders. So I've been, for 20 years, been interested in this field of technology meets humanity. And now what else do I do? Oh, yeah, I'm on television. So this year I was on the TV show Shark Tank, which is the equivalent of Dragon's Den in the UK. Some other parts of the world, it's Lion's Den, but in Australia, it's Shark Tank. So I've had the great opportunity to be investing in some young companies as well. So other than that, I am a mother of 2 stepsons, 3 children of my own, and an adopted daughter. And then more recently, my great interest has been in the psychedelic renaissance.
Wow, interesting. Your profile is so interesting. So let's just go right. Thank you for that. Just putting that intro in there. Could you provide us with details about the key experiences and milestones that influenced your journey and led you to lead a leadership position in artificial intelligence and machine learning?
Yeah, great question. So my PhD was probably the first time that I really started to think about technology, because I was a sort of a humanist, a humanitarian. I did an arts degree, I did a sociology degree, and I was looking at how leaders could be better leaders, and then recognised, and this was 20 years ago, recognised that technology was going to play a huge role and potentially replace leaders. And so my PhD study was the first time that I was really looking at, this role technology can play is going to be very, very profound. So I was kind of a little bit ahead of probably the rest of the business community because I was studying it. So I'd say that is the first thing. Second thing that was really steered me towards the technology was I ran 2 other firms that I founded, a market research firm called ACA Research. I co-founded that firm. We were studying technology, and I could, as an analyst company across the world. And so I was starting to see the strong role that these emerging technologies were starting to play. And then the third really important factor in me deciding to build an AI company was that I could see that the way we were doing things manually as humans in business wasn't particularly good. It was inefficient. Customers are unhappy, suppliers are unhappy, employees are unhappy. And I thought potentially the machines could do a better job than the humans. That was my thesis. So at that stage, I decided to set up a tech company in 2013, well before AI was a thing, or well before there was any venture capital money for AI. And that was really Yeah, I don't even think we use the word AI. We used machine learning or automation, and only later was it really turned to AI. So that was my step into the field. And once I got in there, I could then see this technology is going to change the world. But there is also no guardrails, no laws, no regulations on how it's done. So I recognized right from the start it could be a dangerous path for
Mm.
technology.
Wow. Thank you. How would you say your decision to lead the Responsible Metaverse Alliance, how would you say would impact significantly on the development of and the use of AI technologies?
Yeah. So what's important is to recognize that AI underpins almost all technologies now. So on average, you and I, on a business day, we'll interact with AI at least 35 times. Go to our teenage kids or friends, they'll do 150 times a day. So already AI is invasive, and it absolutely is the underpinning platform for the metaverse. And if we think about what the metaverse is a construct that describes the existence of virtual worlds. And we know there's at least 160 virtual worlds that make up the metaverse, where people come to have immersive experiences and to make social connections. So if we think about AI and virtual reality, augmented reality, extended reality, mixed reality, then the two things go hand in hand. And AI is what helps scale these technologies very, very quickly. So we can't talk about the metaverse without talking about AI.
Yeah, thank you. As CEO of Flamingo, you pioneered the use of the cognitive virtual assistants to enhance customer experiences in the financial sector. Could you provide more information about the role of Rosie and how it is revolutionizing online sales, conversion rates, and customer service? That's really huge.
So this was the company that I sold in 2020, so Flamingo AI. And what we did is we came to market with one of the world's first virtual assistants, and so it's like a chat bot, and almost like a predecessor to Chat GPT. So that we called it a robot, and we named that one was Rosie. So we had developed that software robot, to help guide customers through their sales experience with large financial services providers. So it was very early. It was kind of quite a difficult path. And then we were going extremely well until Amazon and Google sort of came into the space with the same sort of technology, giving it away for free. So then we pivoted the AI, the virtual assistant, to then be a support for employees. And when we sold the company, that's what it did. So yes, we were one of the very first to market, starting to see how humans and software robots work together.
Really, really impactful. Thank you. Could you, your recognition as one of the most influential women in business and entrepreneurship speaks volumes about your impact, your influence in traditionally male-dominated domains. Your journey undoubtedly serves as a beacon of inspiration for aspiring women in STEM and also in leadership. Could you share with us how you think, through your journey, mentorship has played a pivotal role in your own journey, on your own journey?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting question, because I haven't really had a mentor. But I've mentored lots and lots and lots of people, mostly women. I've also focused on mentoring Indigenous businesses and people, men and women. But I actually haven't really had a mentor. And that's not that I haven't wanted one, but what I would say is, in my field, because I was an early leader into the tech field, there wasn't really mentors available for me. But I think I would have done much better as a tech leader if I'd had a mentor and had better advisors around me at the time. So I think mentorship is absolutely critically important for the success of any business person, particularly women and minorities, but I just didn't have a mentor. And I'm still actually now, so it's the first time in my life that recently it's like, yeah, I think I could do with a teacher now. Like I'm 58, right? It's like, yeah, I think it's coming. So I think that's coming for me, but didn't really have a mentor, but should have had one. Would have been better if I had one.
Better, yeah. So it's more like as a pace setter, you tend to go through rough paths and routes, because you're learning on your own. That's, I think, the perks of being a pace setter. But once you've learned so much, you give back, because there are others coming after you. And I think that's what you've been doing, and you've been doing it very well. Thank you so much. And so, given Flamingo's remarkable achievement as the second woman-led business to list on the Australian Securities Exchange, along with your esteemed reputation as a foremost authority on the future of customer experience, artificial intelligence, and bot strategy, how do you perceive the role of women in driving innovation within AI and the STEM fields? And what strategies do you think you could advocate to foster greater female representation and leadership in these domains?
Yeah, so it's absolutely critical that we have more females, particularly in leadership in the tech field, such as the emerging tech, artificial intelligence, metaverse, quantum computing is coming very quickly. So at the moment, there is around 1 in 10 women 1 in 10 jobs are held by women in the AI field, which is just absolutely not enough. So we know at the moment that AI is particularly risky. It is, I mentioned before, it is unregulated. The EU has the first real AI Act, which is close to being passed currently, but it is the only country really, or the only region that really has a solid AI regulation. And I believe that without women at the table and minorities at the table, this technology will head down a path of really only being focused on productivity and profit without the social impact lens that I think women bring to their work. So whether it's technology or anything else, I think we do have a much greater focus on what is the potential outcome and impact of this. So when we look at ethical AI, one of the core ethical principles is around the AI must not discriminate, it must be fair, it must not cause harm to people, society, and the environment. I think women by nature have a great custodianship of these things, and so we need to be at the table. Other than that, women are great at coding, women are great at design, women are great at leadership. All of the other roles that go into an AI company or a team, women have already demonstrated that they're excellent at. So we need that more than just so the machines don't discriminate. We need that to build solid AI companies that have a commercial impact but are socially aligned with human values.
I agree absolutely, really agree, and I with the speed at which AI is going now, and the relevance as well. What advice would you give to? I reckon that a lot of young girls looking at this space and wondering how can I get into this space. So, what advice would you give as an authority in this field to young girls who are interested in pursuing a career in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and how can they overcome any gender-related challenges they may face in the industry?
Right. So I absolutely encourage all women to start to think about a career in technology and particularly in AI. Now, one of the reasons for doing that is it's a very exciting field. And now, since ChatGPT was released in November, a year before last, we know that everybody now knows about AI. So mums and dads, children, everybody knows about AI. So it's a very, very exciting field. AI is being compared to the equivalent of electricity or to fire when fire was invented. So it's a powerful, powerful, exciting field that can do extraordinary good, particularly in medical and health, legal, so much good that can be done. So I think I've tended to find that women, particularly younger women, really do want purpose and meaning in the work that they do, in addition to a pay packet and, a good status. And I think being involved in AI, because it will change the world for good, potentially for bad, but having young women at the table, having minorities at the table will actually help direct this to the good of humanity. So I think one is, this is a field that's very exciting. It's quite cool, but it is impactful and purposeful. And I think that's important to young people. Two is, you get paid pretty well. So there's a lot of demand for talent now. So even in Australia, we need 160,000 more data scientists within the next 6 years. So across the world, what the World Economic Forum says is that within the next 18 months, 80 million jobs will be replaced by AI, and 92 million jobs will be created by AI. And we want women to be at least half of those 92 million jobs that are created. So it's paid well, it's cool, it's impactful, we need you. And so how to go about doing that? So if there's lots of ways into the AI field, and it's not just through having to go and study a computer science degree. So there's a lot in leadership and supervision, in product development, in design, in user interface. So there's roles that are not just hardcore engineering, front-end, back-end coding that they can do. Also, we now have applications such as ChatGPT and other generative AI that can write and produce code. So we're moving into an area that we call low code or no code, where you don't actually have to be a coder to work in the field of technology, because the technology now can essentially code on your behalf. So I think we don't have to all be university graduate engineers to be working in AI. There's lots of other paths to get you there.
Wow, that is huge. So much opportunities out there. Thank you for this insight. So what other key skills or qualities should girls that are interested in this area, what skills should they be looking at, focusing on to be able to excel in this field, the field of AI?
Yeah, so depending on what role they go into in AI, I think the most important thing is attention to detail, because a lot of whether you are doing coding or whether you're doing design or team leadership, there's a lot of technical aspects to AI. So I think that attention to detail, very good project management skills. So I think project management skills, again, you don't have to be a coder to do that, and AI needs a lot of project management. So I think that's another excellent skill. Being creative, thinking outside the box, being able to challenge teams or decisions that are being made. One of the real problems that we have with regard to ethical AI or responsible AI really being implemented in organizations is that some developers don't know what's ethical and what's not ethical when it comes to technology. They might know that in their personal life, but not necessarily with technology. So I think another area for women to focus on is really learn about ethical AI and responsible AI. And this is the book that I know that you know that I've written, called Checkmate Humanity, The How and Why of Responsible AI. Takes you through what AI is and then how to do it responsibly. So I think I would love women to really take the lead in that ethical and responsible AI, particularly when there's not really government or regulatory bodies yet that are really able to control the good use or bad use of AI. I think we can step in as kind of the moral custodians and really support good ethical AI being developed. So I'd love the women to start to learn about that as well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think I'm really interested in this question, and I think a lot of people out there would want to know as well. What are some of the exciting advancements or applications of AI that you foresee having a significant impact, especially on the lives of women and girls in the near future?
Yeah, so look, the best way to think about this is that we're at the early stage of the era of transhumanism. Now, transhumanism means the time when we start to integrate technology into our bodies, into our clothes, into things that we wear. So I think this is enormously exciting. So for one, there'll be great AI-based technologies that come and help with mental health, also with injuries, so brain injuries, with diseases like Alzheimer's, diabetes. We will see AI, whether they're chips or other wearable technology, starting to really support people who have disability or disease. So I think that's a really exciting. And in fact, the vast majority of AI investment now is actually into medical health and healthcare. AI can also do great jobs in diagnosing diseases and health issues. And in Australia, we've got some great examples. Two of my colleagues, one has done AI for breast screening. And so it can take the scans and read it very, very quickly and do much deeper, more accurate diagnosis than just the human doctors. I've got another friend who does AI for IVF for in vitro fertilizations to determine the quality of the embryos. And so there's a lot that's coming like that for women and for women's health, let alone devices, etc., that help monitor our cycles and our health. So I think those sorts of things are very exciting. But I also think we will start to see the home being set up in a different way. So we will see that the home is the new medical clinic of the future. So for those of us who have children, have always got to be taking children to the doctors and doing things, it's now over the next 5 years, we'll have a lot of that at home where we won't have to be going out. We'll be able to do some tests and scans and things all at home. So I think that'll be very good. And then we'll start seeing Internet of Things and we have automated cars. We'll start seeing much more automation of appliances at home, which should also hopefully take away a large chunk of the domestic work that women still seem to get lumbered with. So I feel for women that's a very exciting time, and this AI technology can really support us, actually free up a lot of time, support us with our health, and ideally also support us being more creative.
Wow, that's amazing. I really look forward to that future. Now I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so your commitments, we're going to talk about your philanthropy, your business recognitions, and your family now. Your commitment to philanthropy and human rights activism is really, really commendable. And how do you see technology, particularly? I know you've talked a bit on that, but how do you see technology, particularly AI, intersecting with social impact initiatives, particularly the role of AI in addressing societal challenges?
Yeah, it's very interesting because what we actually see now is more AI as a threat to social coherence. So we're seeing AI being used in border control, AI being used in prisons, AI being used in courts in a way that is, we don't think, very favourable. The use of facial recognition to monitor and track people. So it has a great risk of being very socially detrimental. Where we think AI will be fantastic will be on things like diagnosing and predicting natural disasters, and then being able to allocate first responders or medical health or support, particularly to underserved communities where traditionally they may have been not well served in times of crises, that the AI should be able to be trained to make sure that there is a fair distribution of support when there are crises. So I think that's great. I think also social impact we'll start to see in supporting people with disabilities, and I'm really excited about this. So whether it's prosthetic limbs, so now we can produce 3D printed like a prosthetic limb for about $300. and there are great sort of robotic machines now for people in wheelchairs that they can get out of their wheelchair into these machines, and the machines will walk on their behalf. Brilliant. We have AI apps that narrate the scenery to people who are sight impaired. So there are many things coming like that will have a social impact. And then I just hope for organizations that are doing great social work across the world, AI can be used to help amplify what it is that they're doing. So I think there's some of the ways that we'll see a good social impact.
Thank you so much. Thank you for talking about that, because we hear a lot about, like you said earlier on, the risk, the dangers, but we want to also know what are the positive impacts of AI and how we could harness that. Thank you so much for that insight. Now we're going to talk about your book, The Checkmate Humanity. Inspirational, highly inspirational. It offers a comprehensive exploration of the potential harms of AI, being an early starter, a pace setter, and proposing actionable solutions for building a responsible AI future. Can you provide for us a glimpse of the primary challenges that you address in the book and the innovative approaches that you recommend to mitigate this risk for those that have not seen the book?
Okay, yeah, fantastic. So really what we do in the book, we start out and we describe what AI is, and we take people through that. Then we go into the risks, and the risks, even if we use the risk categories that the EU use now, it's like, what are high risks, what are unacceptable risks, what risks are created from generative AI, and what are limited risks. So there's a concept of looking at different risk analyses. That is one of them that the EU uses. Then what we do is we go into how do we start to think about responsible AI as a holistic strategy for an organisation that's either making AI or deploying AI. And so if we come down to the 8 principles of ethical AI, so ethical AI is a component of responsible AI. So I'll start with those, and then we'll step into the field of responsible AI. So the 8 core principles of ethical AI are that AI should be designed for the benefit of human society and the environment, should not come at a cost to those 3 groups. AI should be designed with human-centered values at its core, number 2. Number 3, AI should be fair. It should not discriminate. The next one is AI should be reliable and safe. AI should adhere to privacy and security requirements. Then AI should be contestable, which means that if AI has made a decision, say it's discriminated against somebody, that person should be able to contest it with the organisation. AI should be transparent and explainable, and responsible AI needs accountability by the organisation who's deploying it or by the vendor of it. So they're the core principles that sit at the heart of ethical AI. And so what is great is, for the listeners, is just to know those principles, and we outline them in the book. Then we step into this whole field of responsible AI, which starts from the board level, having the board educated on what governance and processes and protocols and reviews and audits are needed to make sure that the AI systems are safe, are reliable, adhere to societal norms, adhere to legal and other regulatory requirements, and cause no harm. So in ethical AI, we're really looking for the AI to cause no harm and to not have unintended consequences, because the challenge is the engineers can kind of scope out, we think that this could be a harm or this could be a harm, but often with AI, because we don't know what we don't know, it may have unintended consequences. So we're trying to reduce those. And so in the book, we set out sort of a process for doing that. Because what is important, and there's a whole chapter on this in the book, is that currently AI poses the number one existential risk for all of humanity. So if we look at the things that, an existential risk means that by the end of the century, so in just over 80 years, either humanity is wiped out or humanity's potential is significantly reduced. AI poses a 1 in 10 chance that that will happen. Climate change is actually 1 in 1,000. A bioengineered pandemic is the closest at 1 in 30. And an asteroid or a solar flare is about a 1 in a million. So we actually have right now a much greater risk from AI than we do from climate change. And I think that the AI trajectory is very similar to the climate change trajectory, that everyone's talking about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Oh, I don't really see how it's going to affect me. And now, thankfully, I think across the world, we have a good momentum around climate change. Clearly not enough yet, but we need the same momentum about AI. And I'm hoping this book will contribute to that.
Yes, I think it will. Thank you so much. Can you please, where can we get the book?
Yeah, super easy to find. So it's just checkmatehumanity.com.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. We'll put that out so that everyone can see and get it, because I believe that it has a lot for us to learn from. Congratulations on your distinguished recognition for pioneering innovation in financial services. Could you elaborate on your holistic approach at the nexus of business strategy, data analytics, and technology to foster innovation and generate value within the organizational level?
Yeah, so the best way, I think, to put all those things together, when we think about AI is data. So it all comes down to the data when we boil it all down. Then it's algorithms, then it's analytics, decision making, and automation. So I'll say that again. So it's data, algorithms, analytics, decision making, and automation. So in there, the AI brings all those things that you've talked about together, of data, technology, and strategy. And so what is absolutely significant is the data set itself. Now, one of the things that we're really challenged about in the AI field at the moment is that the data sets that are being used to train the algorithms that run the AI that will determine our future are historical data sets that typically have not quite the right representation of women and minorities in particular. And so there are many, many stories in law, in financial services, and healthcare, where algorithms that have excluded women because they aren't in the data set have then meant that women don't get healthcare, or don't get the same credit score, or don't get the same legal protection. And we can't have that. So data is everything when we're talking about AI.
All right. Thank you so much. Now talking about family and balancing responsibilities of being a mother to five, I think you said six. It's 5 or
Yeah,
6.
I've got an extra one. Yeah, yeah, I've got an extra one. Last 5
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
I've
And it's also
adopted.
doing all of that, and I know what it takes. It's a whole lot. Now, doing all of that and a successful entrepreneur can quite be demanding. How do you effectively? I know this question we always heard this question. I love to hear the insights from. I think it's just different from each person I meet, or from each female leader I meet. How do you effectively manage the delicate equilibrium between your personal and professional life, especially in this fast-paced world of technology?
Right, big question. So got a couple of ways that I answer that. So one is, I don't think there is balance. How people say, how do you balance it? Like, I don't think there is balance. And I don't know a really successful person that has balanced anything, right? So I think it's a matter of making sure all of these things you're doing are healthy and well, but they might not be balanced. They might not be balanced as in the same amount of time or energy goes to them. So the first thing is, like, maybe just put balance down and think of, how do you ensure that all of the things that you're doing, including your health, your relationship, your family, your extended family, and your work, are all healthy and well. And so that takes some discipline in making sure that you do have enough time to invest in all of those things. But as I said, it doesn't need to be the equal time. The other thing is around unconventional parenting. So I think if you want to be a leader, if you want to be the best in your field in the world, which I think all women have the opportunity to be, then you can't be conventional. You can't be parenting the way that is a traditional way of parenting. And so, for example, for me, I was running my business out of America, and I was a single mum with the two youngest ones at home. And it's like, oh, how am I going to do this? Like, this is really difficult. So I would just take the two young ones, they were 9 and 11, with me to America every school holidays and about every third trip that I went, or if I was going to be away for more than 10 days, then I'd take them out of school. Now, I had to negotiate that with the school. That was fine. We pretended to do schoolwork while we were away. We didn't really. But the kids came and sat in venture capital meetings with me. The very first contract I won in America from Nationwide Insurance, I had the kids on that trip with me. So it's doing things unconventionally, negotiating with your partner that you need to be unconventional in your relationship. You might not be there as a stay-at-home, sit on the couch every night, watch TV every night person, that you will need to do work, you will need to do travel. So I think this notion of setting up your relationships first to be unconventional is super important. And then the third thing is really our health. So, we have to stay healthy, we have to stay well, and that's hard. It's hard when you've got kids, it's hard when you're traveling, it's hard when you've got a stressful business job. So I don't necessarily have any secrets to that, other than for me, I did mindfulness meditation, and I did that every day. Was the thing that kept me sane, even for 15 minutes every morning. I used the Sam Harris Waking Up app. I still do every day if I can help it. And it just settles me, gets me focused, remembering what's important, and then I can power through the day. So I think that mental and physical and emotional wellness, we just have to do whatever we can to keep that well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to talk about your feature in the Global Power Women Yearbook, which is why we contacted you in the first place. But before I ask you questions, I will want to read your cover story. This is the book. Yeah, I want to read your cover story here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. I want to read your cover story here before I ask the question. So it says, one of your favorite quotes, "Innovation should make life better for purpose," as a quote you used in the cover story. The theme of your article says, "Pioneering ethical AI for a better world." In the early days of Australia's artificial intelligence, landscape, female founders in the tech industry were a rare breed. Yet, as the 2010s approached, a change was underway, heralded by pioneers like Michelle Decker, laying the foundation for remarkable trailblazers and pathfinders such as Catriona Wallace. A visionary mission begins. Catriona Wallace, the visionary founder of Flamingo AI, stands at the forefront of a technological revolution with a profound mission to make the world a better place through ethical AI. Flamingo AI, born in 2014 on Australian soil, is not just a company, it is a commitment to the development of AI technology that enhances customer experiences while adhering to ethical principles. So that's the cover story. There's a whole lot out there that was written about you. And so we want to know, you were recently featured in this book, was launched in September 2023 at the sidelines of the UNGA in New York. And it's a first of its kind extraordinary compilation of remarkable tales of triumph, influence, innovation, woven by the world's most influential women. And this feature undoubtedly highlights your impact and influence on a global scale. How do you feel about this being recognized alongside other influential women, and what message do you think or hope that your inclusion in this book sends to aspiring leaders, especially female leaders, especially around the world?
Oh, thank you. Well, first to say, it's a huge honour to be included in this book. I was absolutely delighted and quite emotional when I heard of it because, we do, particularly because I'm Australian, right? So we just do a business and we're a small country, but we do have, strong thoughts about how technology should be done and should be done in an ethical way. And in fact, Australia is trying to build its brand currently on being the country for trusted and responsible AI. So yeah, it was delighted to be included. And I hope my inclusion can inspire other people and other women in particular to know that you can try and have the purpose and meaning with your commercial work. And so for me, it was always, yes, I run a company, I have investment, it was a listed company there for a while. So we still had to run it very commercially, but always at the heart of it was the ethics of what we do. And so that's not easy. It's not easy to combine those things, but I think absolutely necessary. So if my inclusion can do anything, it would be hopefully to inspire people to always keep their purpose, the thing that they want to make different in the world, and not to keep it separate. Like, you can do it in the business that you're building. Like, do it, keep your purpose in the business, the commercial business that you're building, and just stay with it. Like, don't ever give up on it. That'd be my message.
Thank you so much. Consistency is the message. Thank you. Your work and influence as a global leader has undoubtedly contributed to the narrative of triumph and empowerment highlighted in this Global Empowerment Yearbook. How do you see the alignment between these themes and the impact you have achieved throughout your career?
Yeah, well, look, I think there just needs to be a lot more stories and profiling done of women and minorities who are making profound global change. I think we just need to keep telling those stories. That's the best way to empower the younger ones that are coming through, and so that they can see that we've done it. Hopefully, we've broken down some doors and some ceilings on the way through, which I think is definitely the case. It's certainly been a tough time at times in such a masculine environment that AI is. So I'm hoping that the values that are incorporated in all of the women that are represented in this book, myself included, will be those values that other women can see that they can live to and be happier as a result.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I have a question, which should be our final question. And I'm sure everyone out there will want to know. You're an amazing personality. You've achieved so much in the field of AI, machine learning, technology, and STEM. But we want to know what is next for Dr. Catriona Wallace.
Yeah, thank you. So definitely I'm still doing the metaverse work. So that is making, because the metaverse is maybe 3 to 5 years away. So that's we've got all the problems that we've got now with AI, the risks and the discrimination, etc. We'll just have at scale in the metaverse in a 3D fully immersive way. My great interest is the protection of children. I'm very, very interested, and that's the work we've been doing a bit with the Australian Federal Police, with Interpol and various other agencies around the world. How do we protect the young ones? Because at the moment in the metaverse is almost 500 million users, 3/4 of them are under the age of 16. So this powerful technology is coming, and it's our children who are using them. So that's one thing. The other thing is I'm super interested in probably quantum computing. I reckon quantum is the next one, because going on in the background is a whole lot of work in quantum, particularly in Australia as a leader in quantum as well. What we'll see, will we just kind of going along, getting our heads around AI, getting our heads around metaverse, and suddenly quantum computing will come in and supercharge everything, and everyone will be shocked and surprised, but actually quantum has been built for years and years. So I'm interested in quantum. And then the other thing I'm really interested in is the role of psychedelics for improving leadership. So I've been trained in Peru and in the Amazon by the Shipibo people, working with ancient plant medicines. I've done training in Mexico. The psychedelic renaissance is on foot. I know it's illegal in many countries, but I think the use of these Indigenous-based natural medicines to help heal leaders and help leaders have visions and reconnect back to nature and back to themselves. I think we're just at the start of a renaissance in working with Indigenous communities to bring some of their traditions back to help heal leaders.
Mm-hmm. So amazing, so amazing. And I believe we have a lot to learn from you and also work with you in terms of research and all of that. But I'll be contacting you after the interview to see how we could work that out. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallace, for agreeing to be with us today, taking off your time from a very busy schedule and the late hour you're in there. We are so grateful, and I believe that once this interview is out, everyone that will watch it will learn a lot, really a lot from you and what you shared with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. My honor to be involved. Thank you.